right, all right. Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Holistic Evolution Podcast with Scott and Kelly. Hi, Kelly.
Hey, Scott.
What are you shaking your head about already? We haven't even started the show yet. You're shaking your head. Because I said evolution? Well, I haven't evolved enough to do evolution yet.
We'll have to do more karate reiki.
And they call it evolving, not evolving. Need some karate reiki over here.
Yes.
How are you? I was just thinking you're coming to us from your studio in Millville, but there's also election night going on. Are you in the same building as the election night stuff?
Yes. As long as you don't hear it, we are good.
We don't hear it.
Perfect.
There's no yelling and screaming, and there's no
not yet, right?
No throwing anything. But that would mean your dad is hard at work doing his election night stuff, and he's been doing that since television was invented, I believe.
Don't let him hear you say that.
Sorry, Jim. Just love you, brother. But that was fun years ago when I used to work at the studio. That was the big night. Election night was our big night. That and the Christmas parades, because the election nights you just kind of like couldn't wait for the votes to come in. Christmas night, you couldn't wait to get inside and get warm. Christmas parades.
Yeah, so. You did a great job on announcing the floats and stuff too.
Oh yeah, here comes another fire truck. And here comes another fire truck. And guess what, Jim? Here comes luckily they were all different colors. We had the green ones and the yellow ones and the red ones. Anyway, how are you doing?
Great. How are you?
I'm good. Your Phillies did not win.
Our Phillies did not win. Did you say your Phillies did not win?
I said your Phillies. I've disowned them.
What a fair weather fan.
Yes, I am. But listen, if you want to feel good about yourself in holistic things that don't hurt you, don't root for the Phillies, because that's just pain.
That's a fair assessment.
It's a fair. You have to forgive the adjustments going on because of all the activity there. Kelly got a few minutes behind, but we're right here. We're ready.
Yes.
We're always ready to talk about holistic stuff.
Indeed.
Yes, indeed. As a matter of fact, you were also with a client, so you were working. And tell us about what you do. Before we get started in the show, just what do you do? And if there's people in Jersey and stuff that want to come and see you, what can you do?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So I've been a massage therapist for 19 years, and I incorporate Reiki into my massages typically. And they're typically also 2 hours long. So they are a very deeply healing, relaxing experience. And so, yes, just go to my website and shoot me a text or give me a call, and we can discuss further options for you if you're interested, if you are anywhere around the Millville, New Jersey area. For my friends and family and others who are interested in the spiritual mentoring work that I do, also go to that website, quinn.abmp.com. And I also offer spiritual mentoring, coaching, and help people go from where they are to where they would like to be, which is usually more peace, happiness, and joy.
All right. And we have Danette Goggin.
Yes.
And I got that name before. She was on one of my other shows. And she says, Kelly is amazing. Not amazing. Amazing.
Yes, we make her go, oh.
And there's Karen.
Hey, Karen.
Karen, our the lifeblood and soul of Addiction Training Center and One Brother, One Sister, and all the great things we do here in Florida and, of course, throughout the nation now. And working our way up to New Jersey. I'm going to tell everybody now. I'm going to give you more information about what we do towards the end of the show. But I will tell you that we were planning to come up and do a training next week. And one of the things we found is that we had a lot of people interested, but it's a really bad timing to try to do a training the week before Thanksgiving. I don't know what we were thinking. I guess that was my bad. I was picking the dates. Didn't think about it, but now it makes sense. So we're going to postpone it a little bit. We're just going to postpone it a little bit. And no, Dana, please don't be sad. We'll be there. We're going to look for dates either in December or January or something, but we're going to come up. But to ask people, especially we had some first responders who wanted to come, but they can't take the week before Thanksgiving off. because it ruins their holiday time. It screws their time up. So we're gonna find that out, and just stay in touch with Kelly, and she's gonna get the information out to everybody, and we'll let you know through the show. But let us know what day of the week and what time of the, do you want December? What's a good time that you think everybody can attend? If we have to come up and do it on a Saturday, we'll do a Saturday. It's all it's all fine either way.
What is the training?
What
is the training?
It trains you how to ride trains. It's a real training. It's about trains. The training we're coming up for is the CEI, Certified Event Interventionist. It teaches people how to do interventions on somebody with mental health disorders, but more importantly with addictions and alcoholism, how to connect with them in a moment's notice. It's not like the stuff you see on TV. It's not weeks of work and family gatherings and writing letters. This is about when somebody's in a moment of crisis, you can walk right up to them and know what to do and how to do it. And that's what we teach people. It's a one-day course, fully certified by NADAC and Florida Certification Board. It gives you national credentials as a CEI, and you could do the interventions. And Kelly just went bye-bye. Your camera just went off, Kelly. Is your mic still with us?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, but your camera went off.
Yeah, I needed to.
Oh,
Sorry, I'm having some technical issues today.
She's switching things around. Let's see. Saturdays, so I don't have to do extra lesson plans. Okay. Is she a teacher?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, don't you just call a substitute and just pretend you don't have to you don't do anything then, right? Just call a substitute.
Not when you do special ed. She's amazing. She's a very special lady, and it makes a lot of work for her when she has to miss a day.
Just do what other teachers do. If you don't feel like teaching that day, you come in the morning, put a film on, put on a movie. I suggest a nice movie that people can learn from, like The Exorcist or The Ring. Good movies for kids, and trust me, they will behave themselves for a long time after that.
This is why you're not.
This is why I'm not a teacher. I almost went into education. I almost wanted to be a teacher. And then I woke up and said, no. She says they do love Chucky.
There you go. Perfect.
All right. So remember, if you want to know more about what Kelly does, whether it's the distance stuff with the Reiki or the in-person stuff or anything, please, quim.abmp.com. It's right there on the screen, quim.abmp.com. I'm going to leave it up there for now. But Kelly, what is going on? Now, like we said, the Phillies lost. We're not going to do a sports show, but I blame the manager. So I'm just saying, you can't pull your pitchers. Every time they pull the pitchers, they go downhill. Let them work their way out of a bad spot. You pay them a lot. Let them work their way out of trouble. That's all I'm going to say about that. But one of the things that happens when people are watching sports is we experience what we call stress. We get all torqued up and we get anxious and not always eating real healthy, not getting our right sleep patterns because the games are on at different times. We get a little bit stressed. We get really involved. And that could really wreak havoc on the body, having stress like that. Now, rooting for a baseball team or a football team, that creates that stress. But people have that kind of stress every day in their lives. And I don't think people know how to deal with it very well. There's a lot of people that either try to just avoid everything or isolate to deal with their stress, which does not help the damage that's being done to the body and stuff. And then there's people that just go to the doctors and start taking pills, which is not a good idea either. So what are some things people can do when they're starting to feel stress in their lives or in activities that they're doing? And maybe there's some good holistic remedies for them, right?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the holistic remedies I was using during the Phillies World Series games was called Rescue Remedy. And I wanted to talk about that because Rescue Remedy is amazing. This you can get at Amazon.
Okay.
Or store. And they're called Rescue Remedy pastilles. There's also a delivery system in a liquid form which you can place under your tongue. These are like hard gummies and you just dissolve them. And it basically acts like a natural Xanax.
Okay.
No side effects. It's homeopathic. It tastes delicious.
Now,
And
wait. Before you go further, you said it's homeopathic.
yeah,
Just for those who aren't sure, like me, what is what exactly does homeopathic mean? Because big word, but what does it mean?
sure. Yeah, exactly. So homeopathic is a frequency, is the essence of which you are wanting to dissolve or reverse. So let's say that you are experiencing a headache. There are particular homeopathics, which the way that they program them, you can read more about it. Just Google homeopathic, homeopathic, as it sounds, and you can read more about the process of how they infuse it with a frequency. But you can go into the store for like less than $8 and buy a homeopathic that specifically is geared toward helping support or reverse. There's like words I can't say, right? It sometimes can take it away. So if you are experiencing a headache, for instance, you go into the store and there's a whole chart where you can go and look up each homeopathic, or you can look up the symptom that you would like to meet with the homeopathic. So you go to a health food store and you like look up headache, and then you can see which one helps with headaches.
Yeah, just so people understand, you're not tripping over words. We're trying to avoid certain words because you're not supposed to use certain words when you're dealing with these things, and they're not even supposed to use them even with some pharmaceuticals and other things, which is words like cure and words like cure is the big one.
Yeah, I can't cure it, can't
Now,
fix it.
if you could say, doing these things could be beneficial in dealing with stress, then there's nothing wrong with that statement.
Right.
We're not talking about cures. And will it sometimes go away? Of course, sometimes it will. Sometimes it won't. And, it's all kind of a thing. But these things assist the body in better dealing with things like stress, better dealing with things like anxiety. And so, but we're not talking about pharmaceuticals that are made like fake stuff. This is natural stuff, right?
Yeah. There's nothing synthetic in this. In fact, there's no side effects and there's no interactions because, again, it's not an actual substance. It's the frequency of it. It's the essence of it. And so, again, when you read more about it, you can understand how it's infused. But yeah, there's no interactions. And worst case scenario, you can't like take too much other than the fact that it might cause a headache because you might be detoxifying. That's it. Like it's amazing.
Gotcha.
And so, yeah, and exactly what you said. I mean, it helps to support the system, the body harmoniously without causing any synthetic or chemical reaction in the body.
And the truth is there are very few things on this planet that have earned the designation of cure. 99% of the pharmaceuticals that people take, none of them are designed to cure anything. They're designed to manage symptomology. They're designed that if you have a headache, it will numb certain parts of your head so you no longer have a headache. Did it treat the cause of the headache? Absolutely not. And holistic medicine tries to spend a little more time trying to look at the cause behind stuff as opposed to just, oh, sure, your hand is sore. I can make that feel better. But let's figure out maybe your hand is sore because your shoulder's out of alignment. It spends more time on that, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Getting to the root. And so, yeah, you're so right, because even if, you take a pharmaceutical or even an over the counter for a headache, if you're experiencing dehydration, for instance, that, it just blocks the receptor site so that you don't feel the headache. It doesn't mean that you're now hydrated.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And you know what the greatest thing for dehydration is? This is like a game for everybody. This is, guess what? The number one treatment for dehydration is the simplest one in the world. You don't even have to go see anybody. It's called water. It's called water. It's not Coca-Cola. It's not coffee, although I would prefer it was coffee, but it's not. I know that. It's water, which today I'm doing my water.
Well,
I already had two cups of coffee during my last podcast about an hour ago. So it's water. And the thing is, it's like, that sounds so simple, but if you walk in and you're dehydrated, sometimes they don't treat it quite that easily. They try to, I don't know. it seems like they're always pushing pharmaceuticals at us, and they're always pushing things at us to just cover symptomologies instead of dealing with the issue. Now, things like massage and stuff, I think there's like two schools: people that think the massage is a therapeutic method, and then there's a whole group of people who think it's just a luxury feel good thing. Um, have you come across those people and like been able to like show them that it's so much more than that?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, when people, it's so beautiful to watch when people finally give it a shot and come out of the room, emerge from the room with like a whole completely different look on their face. Like, oh, that's what it's supposed to be like. This is what I'm supposed to feel like. My body is so relaxed. Everything's flowing. I feel taller. I feel more supported. It's just awesome to watch. So yeah, it just takes that like getting over the, getting over the idea of preconceived notions and actually experiencing it.
I would challenge, and I know I've had this experience before, where I had a bad tooth for a long time, and I almost forgot what it was like not to have pain. And when I finally dealt with it, it felt not feeling that pain felt so foreign to me. It was such a strange feeling. How many people do you think are walking around? I mean, this is just a guess. We're just playing a game here. I mean, how many people are walking around that just could have so much more relief than they actually have? They don't even know that they're hurting anymore because they're so used to it.
Yeah, your body definitely compensates. This is the beautiful thing about our bodies, like, and to a lot of times my clients will come in and they'll be like, oh, I feel great. And then, I get into the muscle tissue and it's like, oh my goodness, like they're super tight or there's tons of knots. And then they come out of the room and they're like, oh, I didn't even realize how much like tension I was carrying because, the opposite side just kind of compensated. And I didn't even realize I was in pain until now the absence of it.
Yeah.
So you're right.
We get used to feeling bad.
Yeah.
And trust me, big pharma, they like the fact that we like being sick.
Yeah.
Not that, oh, sorry, let me correct that we're used to being sick, not that we like being sick. We're used to being sick. We forgot what it was like to feel good. And we've gone so far over the top trying to fight off every little thing instead of just taking care of your whole body and just daily regimens. What kind of things like do things like meditation, like things that people can do self-practice on, do they play a role in holistic health as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Before we move on to that too, for tooth nerve pain, which is especially intense, right? Like when you have tooth nerve pain, it's like
it didn't hurt at all. Trust me. No, it was bad. It was bad. I had a divorce that was more fun than my tooth. All right.
Yeah, it takes a lot of attention from your day for sure.
Yeah.
So a homeopathic remedy for nerve pain is Hypericum. It's Hypericum, Hypericum. And you could go on Amazon, you can go into the health food store and ask them to help you. Like that's a perfect example of like, oh, okay, tooth pain. Go to the health food store, have them, or even like type it into Google, tooth pain, homeopathic, and you'll get the remedy for supporting that. And I say that out of experience. And so it works. Yeah.
Excellent.
So as far as you can meditate for pain as well. That's what's so beautiful about all these modalities because they're naturally supporting your whole system. Oh yes, clove oil does help for sure. It's a little intense, but if you can tolerate it for sure, that's a great one too. And the great thing is that you could take the homeopathic of Hypericum and clove oil. They're not going to interact or have any bad effects, with each other. And again, I'll ask your doctor before you try any of these things,
So when we're talking about holistic modalities and homeopathic medicines and stuff, we're not excluding modern medical.
Sure.
You're in no way saying don't go to a doctor anymore. Go to a faith healer and heal on a mountain. That's not what you're saying. You're saying you should combine these things and communicate, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you choose to combine them, if that is.
I mean, communicate. I mean, I'm not saying combine medicines. I'm saying that that there are times when it's more appropriate to go to a medical doctor.
Yeah,
I mean,
if
the bone is actually sticking out of your arm, it's like sticking out of your arm. it's not the
That's
time to think, should I go get a massage?
yeah. No, emergency room is a good call on that one.
Yeah, probably a good call.
Yeah.
After you're done there, you can go get a massage afterwards.
Right. A little while after that. So yeah, I mean, and you're right too, because the beautiful part of how the body can self-heal is an experience with meditation. So there's meditation of all different types, and I think that there are a lot of misconceptions when it comes to meditation. I think most people feel like they have to, just like sit down and like keep your back straight and like be perfect and breathe perfectly and like empty your mind. And that is not the case whatsoever. There's so many different beautiful ways to meditate, including moving and walking. You can meditate listening to music. You can meditate and listening to a guided meditation. Like there's no right way to do meditation, really. It's whatever you're drawn to.
I've actually heard that like things like yoga can be considered almost a full body meditation, because it's all harmonious movement and it's all, kind of really cleansing in a sense,
Yeah, it's detoxifying and it helps to build chi and you just feel amazing. And there's other types of meditations as well that are a little more active. Again, you can do a walking meditation. You can there's a channel that I like on YouTube that's called Divine White Light, and it's a Reiki channel, and they actually like send Reiki healing energy through they do a transmission of Reiki healing energy while playing this like beautiful music. And so that's a meditation that I really like connecting in with, because I feel like it's really extra supportive, because you can type in like divine white light anxiety, divine white light, too many Oreos like from number one. Like whatever you've got going on, type it in and then you get a support with that too.
So how would somebody who doesn't quite, I think being in tune with your own body is the first step of anything. You've got to know when you're not feeling well, and you've got to know whether you're going to go to a regular doctor or to a homeopathic doctor or to any modality at all. The first thing you got to recognize is something's wrong. So always pay attention to your body. Your body's trying to tell you something. If you're in pain or if you have something going on that's out of the ordinary, do pay attention to it. But how does somebody determine when's a good time to come and see somebody like you? What would be a good determiner for that? Or, I don't know if there's a good answer for that or not, but, when would be a good time to try something new and to call somebody like you and say, I'd like to try this and see if it helps with my stress levels or with how I'm feeling or my low mood,
Yeah, absolutely. With body work and energy healing, I feel like there's never an inappropriate time for that, because if you're stressed, like that is definitely the time to, kind of get that support. Other than the contraindications of massage, that would be like first trimester of pregnancy and all those things, but tends to be that a massage is incredibly relaxing, as is energy healing. So yeah. And then of course, knowing when you need kind of like to experience detoxification through muscle manipulation and deep relaxation through massage versus, sometimes you're just really stressed because you have a lot going on in your life and you really need someone to kind of like listen and hear you and like help you process through what's going on within your own mind. And then that's when the spiritual mentoring and coaching that I provide is also a benefit as well. So it just depends on kind of like what you feel like you need. But yeah, if you don't feel like you even know what you need, just be still and take a deep breath and then just kind of, fall asleep sometimes during that. And sleep during massage is like the best thing ever. It's so rejuvenating because you're completely in a non-resistant state. So your body is just completely like relaxed and able to process and heal.
Yeah, I'm like all knots. So it's I'm not the fall asleep during massage guy. I'm like, just get the knots out so I can like move. Oh my God.
Well, I get moved out, then you do get into a really deep state. Yeah.
Well, that's when when it starts to loosen up and stuff.
That's why I like to massages, because it gives you more time to.
Yeah, absolutely. But you mentioned something a minute ago. I don't want this to go unsaid because I think a lot of people don't understand this. I could be wrong, but I don't think it's talked about a lot. Is the detoxifying um, value of a massage? How exactly does that work? Because it does detoxify the body. What is going on with that? With a simple massage?
So massage helps to flush out the impurities in the tissue. And so when you're flushing that out, it's like pushing it into the lymphatic system. And so essentially that's why you really want to drink a lot of water, because you want to flush that out as much as possible, because it makes you feel even better. And so that's why you feel so much better after massage, because you've like flushed out toxins from the tissue.
I've seen people not drink water afterwards. When I was working at the healing center and running the healing center, and I'd see people. I'm like, okay, now sit and drink some water before you go back and do your thing, because we were dealing with people who were new in addiction or new in recovery, not new in addiction, new in recovery, and their bodies had a lot of toxins in them. I mean, they were just coming out of years of using a lot of illicit drugs and stuff. So during a massage, it keeps saying, drink water, drink water, drink water. And as soon as they're done, they hand them water, and I have them sit and drink. Some people get up and walk away. And I've seen people get physically ill, actually throwing up and stuff, because there's just too many toxins floating around inside the body. They're not flushing it. So they really need to listen when you guys are instructing them on certain things, because real stuff happens during these massages, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's that's a really good example of a very extreme case where somebody has like got a lot of toxic waste kind of building up in their body because of illicit drugs. And also it can still happen, even if you've just not drank any water throughout the day because you were busy. So yeah, you always want to hydrate for sure before and after a massage if you can, but especially after.
Cigarette smokers too, by the way, it'll make you feel kind of bad if you don't flush and drink water afterwards.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I learned that through experience myself too. Before I quit smoking, I no longer smoke. I do vape, but I don't do it on the air because I promised I wouldn't. Anyway, so massage is good. Now, energy healing. If somebody wants to try something with energy healing, now are we talking about Reiki, or is there more than that with energy healing?
Reiki is kind of the word that most people know when they associate it with energy healing, but there's tons of different types. And to be honest with you, I mean, we all have an innate ability to send and receive energy because that's all we're made of. What I love about Reiki is that it's such a beautiful tradition and ritual that takes you through attunements that help you to ground in that frequency. And so then it's also great because I feel like you can have like a structure to be able to know how to like protect your own energy, share the universal life force energy that you're channeling. And, it kind of takes you into a really beautiful process, much like, learning to do anything. It's nice to have like a structure first, and then you kind of branch from there, which is what I did. I learned like the basic structure, and then now I kind of do a hybrid of all different types of energy healing, whatever it feels like the person needs.
Now, when I first discovered it, it was actually even after I had done the healing centers thing, and I'd learned about acupuncture, and I learned about the benefits of good chiropractic, not just cheesy, but there's good chiropractic and there's not so good chiropractic. In massage, I learned about all those things, but then it was later on that I was running a treatment center. Karen and I were running a treatment center, and we had a Reiki master who was treating the clients, and I watched, and I just said, I'd like to try that. And she just said, sit down. And I sat down, and I was a completely open book. I mean, I just said, listen, nothing might happen. If nothing happens, then I got to sit still for 20 minutes. So I'm a happy guy. Everything's going to be fine. But I really felt something, but I couldn't even explain what it was. So I guess when's a good time to try something like that? And, how do people get their feet wet with Reiki? I mean, just give me an idea of somebody saying, I want to try that. Well, what would they have to do to try it? And what frame of mind do they need to have?
Yeah, whenever you feel overly stressed, or if you just feel like you are wanting just extra support in your life and you are experiencing trouble relaxing, Reiki is great for that because it just kind of like helps to, like you said, I mean, you're sitting still and it's helpful to be calm and sit still for a few moments. It's helpful to do deep breathing for a few moments.
Mhm.
It's very powerful to help support the system that way. And then when you're adding energy healing with that, you're adding universal life force energy to come in. You're inviting that to come in. And so a lot of times we are disconnected from our life force energy, from source, from God, from whatever, higher power you'd like to use that word. But when we're in our brain a lot, when we're in our minds a lot, when we have the monkey mind going, it's very challenging to connect in with source energy and like listen to our intuition and receive messages and see signs and synchronicities. We kind of like cut that part off. And so the energy healing is really powerful because it almost like clears out all of the junk that's going on in our brain.
Now, in just a few minutes, we are going to be doing a Reiki session. Is that a good term for it? Is it?
Yeah, I'm going to offer some Reiki healing for a
It's
couple minutes.
Reiki healing for a few minutes. We're offering this for all of you guys who are watching, and we're just gonna. It's going to be about 2 minutes long. We're gonna play some music. We're going to give you guys a chance to experience some of this and see how it feels for you. So we're going to be doing that in just the next couple of minutes. But before we go into that, I was gonna follow it up afterwards. But let's do it now. I want to talk a little bit about you. You've been working a lot with CBD, and now as soon as you say CBD, people think immediately it's marijuana, it's pot. It's not what we're talking about here. CBD is just it's a chemical within. You know what? You explain it. It's not what people think it is. It's not Cheech and Chong sitting on the side of a mountain, up in smoke, CBD and getting high. That's not what it is.
No, not at all. It's the same plant, different parts of the plant. So this part is non-psychoactive, which is why you don't get the Cheech and Chong experience.
The Cheech and Chong experience. I like that.
And to order in for more information, you can go to that web link.
But what is it? What would that be? Why did you start getting involved in that, and what do you use it for at this point?
So I was 36 years old. It was about 6 years ago. Wow, that flew. It was about 6 years ago, and I was in my 13th year of massage, and I had been rear-ended 3 times in 3 car accidents and was experiencing a lot of low back pain. It was, I was receiving acupuncture and chiropractic and massage and amazing modalities, and they all helped tremendously. But this particular year was I was really struggling. I was doing a full day of work, and then after a full day of work doing massage, I couldn't like walk through a grocery store without a Mart cart at 36. And so that was very concerning to me. I actually considered very seriously leaving my profession and my career altogether, which was super sad for me because I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed helping people. So I had a massage client come in one day, and she had actually gotten herself off of pain medication, like the really intense stuff, like the opiates, and she was just done with that whole thing, and she really wanted a holistic alternative. So she had actually discovered CBD, and I, like many people probably watching, thought, nope, I don't like to get high. I don't like the way that, no, I don't like the way that feels. I like to be in control of like my own thinking. Like, I'm good. And then she explained that CBD is very different than THC in that it's a cannabinoid. However, it's a non-psychoactive cannabinoid. It just specifically targets whatever your body needs to be most fortified. So I went on to learn that we have endocannabinoid receptor sites within our system that we're not taught about because of marijuana prohibition. And so when you feed these receptor sites, whatever it is that you need in your body to be greater than or supported, that starts to heal. And so for me, what that looked like was the first time I ever experienced oh, hey, Lynn. The first time I ever actually experienced the CBD oil, it took me about 3 days to actually finally like take it because I was so scared I was going to feel high. Like I was just like so freaked out. And I finally tried it. And for me, in the first dose that I ever took of CBD, it completely eliminated that level, that quality of back pain forever. Like I've never then experienced ever in 6 years since that one dose, that kind of quality of low back pain. So I, there's just these magical moments sometimes, right, in life where you like find something and like natural, and it just, that that's the thing, that is the thing that like helped you change your entire life. I mean, one client sharing one dose of CBD oil with me, I'm still 6 years later able to do massage. I'm able to walk. I'm able to do things that I probably would not have been able to do without CBD. And so I obviously became very passionate about it. I learned a lot about it. I attended a convention in Las Vegas on it. I just have made CBD just such an important part of education for my life and to help other people, because I was like, if I didn't know this existed, clearly there's other people who didn't know it existed either. And I've watched the most miraculous things happen for people who finally tried it, just like I did. When I ran out of that CBD, I went to my local health food store and I thought that it was all created equal. And so I bought the local health food store CBD. It was like $150. It was like a tube. And I have a family member with severe nerve pain in her toe. And we applied the CBD to the toe, to the nerve pain, and it did nothing. Whereas before it kept taking the nerve pain away in like 5 minutes. And I was like, oh. And that's when I learned that not all CBD is created equal, because it's not yet regulated. So having a good quality CBD is paramount, which is why I'm so passionate about not only educating people on the benefits of it, but also bringing people a very good quality CBD. And this is also a good time to mention that there are trace amounts of THC in a typical full spectrum CBD product. The CBD company that I work with has a broad spectrum CBD, which it totally eliminates the THC aspect of it, but it still has all the other beneficial cannabinoids. So you're not just getting CBD in the broad spectrum or the full spectrum. You're getting a lot of other cannabinoids. However, in the broad spectrum, you are not getting THC. So
which is important for us to talk about here, because we deal with a lot of people with addictions and things like that, and we will never, ever, ever recommend any product with any trace amounts of THC to anybody who has an addiction issue. If you've had any addictive behaviors in the past, or you've ever been in recovery, do not use these products, because it is not, unless you can get the broad spectrum where there is no THC in it at all, then it's different, because it doesn't have anything that's going to react with the addiction. But please do not assume that because there's only small amounts or trace amounts that it will not affect you. We've seen it. When you put those kind of things in your body, it will trigger a response. It's almost like Pavlov's dog. You put the chemistry back in the addicted body, and the body starts to crave the addiction again. So just stay away from it. There are answers for that. If you go to quinn.abmp.com/CBD, it's right there on the screen. If you go there, you can find out about what products work the best, because again, not all products are created equal. Just not all clothing detergent is equal. Not all water is equal. I'm sorry, water's not just water. Some water tastes better than other water. Some products work better than others. She found products that work really well, so please check them out. But again, broad spectrum, no THC if you have an addiction problem. If you don't, hey, go for it. But just be aware of that. We want to make sure we make that very, very clear. I don't ever want somebody coming back and having a re-trigger an addiction based on taking something like this. But there are answers for that. So please go to the website. And Kelli, they can find out more by getting in touch with you. You're perfectly willing to talk to people, right?
Yeah, absolutely. When you go to that website link, you'll see my information so that you can reach out, and I can do consultations with you as well, because there are different milligram options. There are different options, and there are different flavors, and there's anything that you need, I'm here to help with. And in addition to not wanting to have a full spectrum with trace amounts of THC, because of recovery, you also now appeal to people who get drug tested for work.
Yes.
So I don't have a
Thank
problem
you.
with that's also important. Yeah.
Thank you. A lot of first responders, a lot of military, a lot of doctors and nurses, great people, even union people and stuff. You can get drug tested, teachers and stuff. If you got the possibility of drug testing, there's an answer. Just go to the broad spectrum and again, make sure that it is completely clean. And Kelli can check that out if you're not sure, but make sure it's completely clean and then try the product. This isn't one of those things. We're not snake oil. We're not saying it's going to work for everybody for everything, but it seems to be working a whole lot. So it's worth giving it a try. Isn't it right?
Yeah. Thank you for bringing that up. So I wanted to share some of the things that I've seen personally. So in addition to my experience with it helping to neutralize the low back pain I was experiencing, I've also seen it help with shaking hands. Not allowed to say the word. It also I've seen it help with when your leg does not stop shaking at night.
Restless leg syndrome.
Not allowed to say it, but yes. And
well, we're not saying it cures any of these things, but it can be beneficial for these things. Well, it can be beneficial.
Even that you're not even allowed.
We're not allowed to. I can say it because I'm not a doctor, though.
Right. Well, no, because Big Pharma invented these terms. I'm actually not even allowed to say anxiety in conjunction with these. Like we have a lot of wow. They'll remove posts. So
if you're really effed up, then you can try this and it might make you not effed up. How's that? Is that too technical?
That really brought
screw you, Big Pharma. I just got it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, again, but we'll say we're not somebody might get a different result from somebody else because everybody's body chemistry is different too. I mean, that's one thing, but that could be with a pharmaceutical too, because when's the last time you watched a pharma commercial for something and they say, hey, this could help if you've got this problem and this problem, it could help. However, in some people, it may cause, bleeding out of the eyeballs, heart palpitations, shortness of breath, and maybe death. But that's for some people, not everybody.
You know what happens if you take too much CBD? You might get sleepy.
You might get sleepy. Well, be careful. You might be making a statement there they don't like. Here's the thing, folks. You know what? Life is too short not to try things and see what works for you and what doesn't. And guess what? If it doesn't work for you, listen, I'm not, Kelli will tell you, years ago, she gave me a massage years and years ago. And I did that because I wanted to help her out and because I thought, well, I'll give it a shot. I'm not a massage guy. I don't like massages. I tense up when people massage. I like acupuncture. I like that. I'm just not. So not everything is good for everybody. Everybody has their own little cup of tea. Find out what yours is, but stop believing all this stuff you see on TV that's saying take a pill and it's going to make your life better. Try something different. Get a hold of Kelli and find out what she has to offer that might work for you in your life. You got nothing to lose. Give it a shot. Can I put a better point on that, Kelli?
Oh, that's beautifully said. Absolutely. I mean, and so some of the other things that I've seen it help with too is sleep. One of my clients would sleep in 90-minute intervals, and the first night she took it, she slept straight through the night. And then she also said that her employees the next day remarked on how kind she was. How much more she was smiling and how much kinder, it's amazing when you sleep how much better.
And she immediately fired everybody who said that. Okay, so I'll tell you what, I think now's a good time because we're running out of show.
Sure.
And this show should not last longer than the election results tonight. So they're still nice and calm in there, aren't they? Okay. Yeah. You had probably to sage the hell out of that place after the election results. Get rid of all the political garbage, right?
Yes, I'm going to smudge. And that's another great thing to bring to the art of relaxation is smudging. So to help burn white sage or dragon's blood sage, any sage you like. I prefer those two. And that helps to clear the energy from the room. And then you can actually burn Nag Champa incense, and that infuses the energy back with positive energy.
Here's what we're going to talk about next week, folks. And I'm glad you brought this up. I'd like to bring up some of the myths about holistic stuff. people see somebody doing the smudging, I guess that's what you call it.
Smudging, yep.
And they think it's like they're like, oh, that's voodoo warding off evil spirits. It's not. I would love to tackle some of those things that people believe, and let's end some of the myths. And maybe we'll even have a guest join us or something. But we're going to talk about myths and everything. Not everything is what you believe, and sometimes TV and movies don't really paint the right portrait of holistic medicine and of homeopathic medicine. So we'll cut through all the baloney and we'll face those things. Kelli, are you ready to Reiki? Hey, let's get ready to Reiki. Dun, 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 dun. I'm sorry. This is supposed to be serious right now. I'm sorry. When you do something we call it karate Reiki, you got to build it up. Let's get ready to Reiki. All right.
That's great.
What?
I'm gonna like take you with me wherever I go now when I do.
Yeah. I'm gonna be the ring announcer. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is everybody relaxed? Is everybody set? Okay. Let's get ready to Reiki. So it's like, and we're just, and I will just shock the hell out of everybody.
Yes, that's awesome.
They're all relaxed, and the scotch has scared the hell out of me, and now I've got no more hell left in me. All right, Kelli, explain what you're about to do, and tell people how to set themselves up, and then I will get out of the way and allow you to do what you're going to do. So why don't you tell everybody what you're going to do and what they need to do?
So I invite you to lie down in a comfy position or sit up and just kind of ease into your chair. You can put your palms face up on your lap and just get ready to receive. I'm going to do some transmission of energy healing through my hands through the screen. And we are all made of energy. Everything can travel through the ethers. It's a beautiful experience. And so just sit back and relax and receive. I invite you to take 3 deep in through the nose. I like slowly. I invite you to come back into the room. Take another deep cleansing breath in through the nose, exhaling slowly through the mouth, and gently open your eyes.
Wow.
Welcome back.
That was relaxing. This is probably better without my yelling and screaming, let's get ready to Reiki. So
It really hypes it up. I like it.
Okay. Danette saying, what about Paul Santo?
Palo Santo is a beautiful way to cleanse the space as well. It's actually a wood from, I believe it's from.
Wait a minute. I thought she was suggesting a guest to be on the show. I thought somebody's name was Paula Santo. It's not what it is?
No, it's a wood. It's a cleansing. It's like sage, but so what sage is like in Native American traditions. Palo Santo is from the Spain. Yeah, it's one of the Spanish heritages that I'm not able to think of off the top of my head, but yeah, she said.
Yeah, she's laughing at me. She's like, how would I know? I don't know these things. We're trying to teach these things. It's not like you said, hey, how about some red oak? And I said, hey, red oak, he sounds like a nice guy. I know what red oak is. But I don't know Palo Santo.
Yeah, Palo Santo. You can light it on fire. It's like a wood. And so it creates a smoke and it helps to cleanse your space as well, similar to sage.
Okay. We're going to talk more about that next week. But like I said,
there's guy that's running for office in the San Fernando Valley.
We're going to do the hot seat on this next week about things that people believe versus what the reality is. And there's a lot of it, and there's some things that people believe that are actually true. When we get into things like acupuncture, the unbelievable technique and the precision of a good acupuncturist is absolutely amazing, isn't it? I mean, it's like they have to know almost every little nerve ending on the body. It's amazing what they know.
Yeah.
But it's been around for 3,000 years, right?
Yeah, there's so many meridians to learn and to understand how they work together. It's phenomenal. It saved my life, actually.
But not something you ever got involved in, obviously, because it takes a lot of training for that, doesn't it? This isn't like you can't go to I went to an after school program and learned acupuncture, right?
Yeah, no, it's at least 3 years. I mean, you become a doctor of Oriental medicine. Yeah, it's a very intense. You don't just pick it up and try it out. You got a lot.
Yeah, and I'd like to dispel some myths about Oriental medicine as well. It's not, everybody thinks, oh, it's a ground up rhinoceros horn, and it's this, and it's all these things, and it's been played up in Hollywood so much. I think we really need to take a look at some of these things. So we'll talk about those things next week. But Kelli, man, it's been great. Let me see. I fall asleep during acupuncture too. Dana, are you ever awake? This is our school teacher we're talking to here. She gets into the classroom and it's like, all right, kids, today we're going. I'm kidding. She's going to hurt me. She's going to hurt me when she sees me.
Oh, man. Yeah, she might. She's pretty hardcore.
I'm saying, unfortunately, at all the wrong times, she falls asleep. Yeah. Yeah, I did that once, woke up married. So I'm always trying to be careful where I fall asleep. She's one of your clients, right?
She's a friend and also sometimes client. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe we can have her on the show sometime. She can talk about her experiences with the services and stuff, what it does for her. Because it's not just, I don't just want to talk to practitioners. I want to talk to people who get something out of this and share their experiences as well.
That would be great. Yeah, if she's willing. I would love to have her. She's so fun.
If she can stay awake long enough, we'll keep her laughing enough that she'll stay awake.
Yeah,
and
no doubt.
We appreciate all of your comments and your compliments as well. But we appreciate that. But we have come to the end of the show. Now, I had told you that one of our sponsors, obviously, we've got Quinn Broadcasting that helps us out, and we've got Addiction Training Center, which is my place, Addiction Training Center, and we train people to deal with addictions. If you want to know more about what we do and find out how to get involved and get some trainings, you can go to atceducation.com. That's atceducation.com. I don't even have a banner for me. No, I guess not. Oh, wow. Next time I'll have a banner for me.
Yeah. I know a guy. Good.
Oh, so sorry. I was trying to figure out do you see what she wrote there?
No, it's a Z.
She fell asleep.
Yeah, she'll keep us entertained. She's pretty good.
She's fabulous. I love her. That's great.
Yeah.
But but for now we're coming up against our time. So I want to thank everybody for joining us. I hope that you got a little something out of this. Remember, if you want more information about everything that Kelli is doing with holistic and homeopathic medicine, or to learn more about CBD, you go to quinn.abmp.com. And if you'd like to know about the CBDs that she has vetted and believes is a really good product, then you certainly want to go back to the same site, quinn.abmp.com/CBD. Either way, you're going to get Kelli's information. You can reach out to her, ask questions. And here's the thing. We don't need to convince you. We're not here to convince you of anything. What we're saying is please keep an open mind and try something different. If we keep doing things the way we're doing things, we may as well just start becoming addicted as children to these pharmaceuticals that are just not treating anything. They're numbing us to our pain and to everything else. Try some new things. See what happens. You just might be surprised. Thanks, Scott and Kelli. Well, thank you.
Love you.
She's awesome.
She's amazing.
Kelli, any final thoughts?
Here's the spring training.
Oh, the Phillies blew it.
There's always spring training, Scott. It's all good.
They blew it. I was out, people. I left Philly. I was away from there. And then they dragged me right back in. And I watched one game. And after that one game, I was hooked. And the thing is, I was watching that one game because I was actually training that week. And I was watching that one game, drinking a Diet Coke in a seedy hotel room on a broken TV. And I'm watching this game. And I'm thinking, like, this is kind of like where my addiction started. And I'm addicted to the Phillies again. She says, go Phillies. Yay. She sleeps through those games too, I bet. All right.
Not Tuesday's game. That was intense.
No. All right. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Again, Scott and Kelli here with the Holistic Evolution Podcast. We're here every Tuesday night. Join us at 8:30. Go ahead and say it the way you want to say it.
It's the Holistic Evolution Podcast with Scott and Kelli.
Okay. All right. The Holistic Evolution Podcast with Scott and Kelli. All right. So I'm going to put that long E in there somewhere. All right. If someone's going to get it. I hope you join us next week. For now, thank you so much. Everyone, take care. Remember, each day it's a very simple formula. Do something nice for yourself or do something nice for someone else and do two things nice for yourself, and you always have a good day. All right. Thank you, guys. We'll catch you next time.